Hello everybody, my name's Shalise. Welcome on everybody to my The Many Saints of Newark review. Here's the thing. A lot of people have been anticipating this entire movie just because of the fact is this is the prequel to Tony Soprano. And how it was marketed, how it was used in the media, how the trailers were saying we were gonna get Tony Soprano's story. All reality, we don't really get Tony Soprano's story. We get to see little beginnings of him, but he really is a side character. The main character of this story is Dickie Montesante. Dickie is Christopher's father. And here's the thing. I see so much of Christopher in Dickie. I see so much of Dickie in Christopher. Dickie had trouble with his conscience. He had trouble with his, whether he was doing the right thing and always trying to make up for the things he's done wrong. Him and Christopher had that similarity. They really had that similarity with each other, where if they cannot make up for the stuff they've done, they're going to descend into either madness or they're just depressed. But I would say Dickie has more of a backbone. He has more of he can handle himself better than his son. Now, the character Dickie, I really did enjoy. I really enjoyed the actor, and we get to really see how he was kind of in charge of the entire family, how he kind of stepped up, took over, and how he just really helped everybody around. And everybody loved him. Tony's mother loved him. She's like, oh, he's great, he's awesome. Uncle Junior couldn't stand him because Uncle Junior felt belittled to everybody around him, and he has insecurity problems. The guy who plays Uncle Junior in this movie, fan-freaking-tastic. I've seen this actor many times before. He was great, and you really get to see the real bitterness, the jealousness of Uncle Junior. How he always says, how in the TV show, he's always been the laughing stock of the family. How no one ever really takes him seriously. Everybody moves up a step ahead of him. If there's another person in charge, they're not going to let Junior be the one in charge. Junior was never that type. And everybody's just downplaying him. Everybody's just treating him like a secondary fiddle. And you can just see the resentment in Uncle Junior and all that stuff. So Uncle Junior's character and the story was good. Dickie, as his character, was good. The thing is, though, this movie's a mixed bag for me. This movie would have been so much better as a mini-series. And yes, there is going to be spoilers, and this is the spoiler side of it right now. And here's the thing. Ray Liotta plays Dickie's father, Christopher's grandfather. And Ray Liotta plays actually two characters. He plays two brothers, twins. One was the father of Dickie, and one of them's the uncle. And in this movie, Dickie kills his own father by accident. Oh, not by accident. He beats up his father to death. Did he intentionally want to do that? No, but he killed his father. Because Dickie's father is abusing his new wife. And son's like, you ain't gonna do to her like what you did to my mother and all that. And then he says a joke about oh, I marry only whores and all that. And Dickie kills his father. And during this time, there's these race riots, and he blames the death on Dickie's father's death on the blacks. The fact is that any character who kills a father is just... It's not that it's evil, it's just the fact is I don't think it's a very realistic thing about how it was just so quick and so sudden. And people say it could have been an accident. I think they could have handled this death better. I think, if anything, make it seem like it was not just because he was just punching his father and beating his head against a car horn and the door. They really should have put, how I would have done it is, since Ray Liotta's character is beating up his new wife, he throws her down the stairs. What happens if his son pushes him and he falls accidentally to his death? That would have been a better death. Because then would see them think they want to kill his own father. But how it was in this moment, it feels like how he kept hitting him and beating him. And then when you sort of realize, oh shit, you're not breathing. It kind of takes away from Dickie's character. Ray Liotta, he plays the prison brother who's... And this is a problem I have with the script. Dickie's uncle, played by Ray Liotta, the twin brother of his father, he's in jail because he killed a made guy. From what I understood, if you killed somebody without permission and he was made, you automatically die. You get in jail, you're gonna die in jail. So I wish there was more backstory on how this man survived, because it doesn't really go like a realistic tone why this man has survived for so long in jail if he killed a made guy when he was 25 years old, especially in those times. Don't believe it. And that stuff right there is just Hollywood BS writing. And The Sopranos, even though they had some of those moments, I don't think they should have had this in the sequel. I mean, the movie that they wanted to bring down, the prequel. Okay, and another thing about, I know a lot of people didn't like the fact that they were showing Italians in a bad light. Again, this is like Godfather 1. You got that one stupid asshole that was beating up Michael Corleone's sister. You always had that. You always had those types of people, and I guess Ray Liotta had to be an abusive asshole towards his wife for no good reason, and how the fact that he wasn't clipped and his brother, it's just, to me, was in poor taste. Ray Liotta's character for the father, his death was in poor taste, and Uncle surviving and being in prison after killing a main guy didn't make a lot of sense to me. Maybe I'm taking this too seriously, but that's to me. Let's go with Tony Soprano's parent, John Berthal. I always love his work. I always enjoy every single thing he does. Him playing Johnny Soprano, I understand. But I always remember the premiere episode with Tony Soprano, how he said that how his mother just made his father weaker and made him, like, small and, like, not as strong. And John Berthal in this entire movie, he just doesn't seem like his wife gets to him enough where he's just drained. I would like to see the beginning where he's kind of, like, with her and all that stuff, like he's still strong. But then slowly but surely throughout the movie, we'll see him slowly digress. He'd be less skinnier, less built up, and I'm like, yeah. Like, he's worn down by her. But in this movie, it seems like he still is in power with her. They have a stupid scene where he's in a car with her. And I know this is played for laughs, but I thought it was stupid where they're driving, she's bitching in the car, and he takes a gun, shoots near her head. And, like the hair area where the bun is. He shoots that. I don't think that would ever happen. I think that was in poor taste. I think that was just Hollywood BS writing. And I don't think, considering how Tony Soprano describes his father's character, would never do that to a woman. Granted, I can understand if he, like, pulls over and wants to go out to have a cigarette and starts shooting up in the air. Then yeah. But this would just felt out of taste to me. So I didn't enjoy. I enjoyed John Berthal's performance, but I didn't like how the character was written. Vera, I liked her character. Vera played Livia Soprano, and here's the thing. Livia Soprano, like, she was good, and you see her belittling her kids, but it doesn't come to that point where it just keeps on demeaning. Maybe because we didn't see it all too much. But to me, I think the actress did a great job with what she was given. She had the mannerisms right. She had a lot of good things about this character right, but something just seemed off about how this character was written, and including John Berthal. John Berthal's version of Johnny Soprano, I like the fact that he, like, the whole his relationship with Janice, you could slowly start to see how he falls out of favor with Janice after he comes back from prison, and then he sees his daughter. He's like, go put something else on. You could slowly start to see how he slowly lost favor in his daughter. And you see how Tony's growing up and all that stuff. And the guy who plays Tony Soprano, young Tony Soprano, which is the actual Michael I'm blinking out on the last guy's name. Galfoni? He plays the actual guy. He actually plays the real life son of the actor who played Tony Soprano. And he does a great job. He has his father's look. He has his mannerisms good. And I really liked what we're seeing and how he was close to Dickie Montasante. So, Tony Soprano, I enjoyed. I like the actor that portrayed him. And I really enjoyed the relationship. I really see, like, Dickie, why Tony was always felt close to Christopher, why he always had to protect him, because his father protected Tony. And he wanted Tony not to be a part of life. But sad to say, things didn't turn out, and I really did enjoy the ending for Dickie Montasante. Now, let's talk about some other stuff. Let me get over some of the other casting. I enjoyed the guy who played Pussy, and the fact that Joey Diaz played Pussy's father was absolutely hilarious, and highly believable. But the guy who played Silvio, I don't know. I have no words for that one. The guy who played Paulie was fan-freaking-tastic, fucking phenomenal, but not the best. Not the best, but I'm just saying, like, the entire, like, casting was mostly for spot on, but the guy who played Silvio was, I don't know, I think it was a little bit over the top, kind of goofy. And while I'm talking about this movie, about all the different characters and all their, like, people who are portrayed them in the past, you're all wondering what is actually in the story. Well, this is a race war. We get the origins of the Soprano family in a sense about the relationship with one another, but the problem is, the fact is, they decide to do the best story is for a race war. Because Dickie has a best friend. Dickie has a good friend who, well, not a best friend. I would say he's a good friend in the past, but he had this black guy who was helping him deal drugs into the city and all that stuff to this guy's people. And I think as though this guy doesn't hit for Dickie, and you know how Italians, they really portrayed him as being like a racist towards the black people, and also in particular towards this man, who's Dickie and him have a good partnership with each other, and you can see friendship. But the problem is though, when this guy moves away, and when he comes back, he decides he wants to take over Dickie's operation. I just don't think I saw a review of Michael Francis about this movie. Like, he said, what is the point of this story? Is it to create race tension? What is the point of this story? And I gotta be honest with you, what was the point of this story? If you were not gonna create a mini-series, there was no point to this character. There was no point to have these little tensions. I mean, yeah, Italians are racist towards blacks. Yeah, we get it. And they do it kind of off in many cases. They do it off in many cases. Again, like Michael Francis said in his video, when John Berthal comes home to see his family, he complains about black people moving into the neighborhood. Right when he walks through the door. And it's just like, and when you have people around you and all this stuff, it just doesn't seem like a good written story. And the fact is, they focus so much on this character and him trying to take over Dickie Montesanti. Him sleeping with Dickie Montesanti's woman is just stupid. Again, this would have been so much better as a miniseries, but to me, it just doesn't work. Why have this entire plot line? You could have something against Dickie Montesanti against different members of a crew. You could have him and Junior's relationship a bit more. I mean, they played it well nicely. It's just maybe you could have a little bit more of it. Maybe show a little bit more John Berthal's character. Johnny Soprano, how he gets into trouble. You could do a whole bunch more. But why have a story where black characters being demeaned by Italians unless you want to show the prejudice of the past? Yes, we got it. But why show him sleeping with his old friend's wife, and his, not wife, but his, guma, his mistress? Why have those entire scenes? Are you just make attention up? I didn't see this character coming back and trying to take over and go against the mafia. It sounds stupid. It sounds like, what makes this guy think he could take down the mafia? I don't think no one ever would think of that. I don't think anyone in any story would think that. Unless they were backed by the government. But to me, it's just a lot of this writing and script, like, half the story was not needed. When it was focused on Dickie, his relationship with his father, his uncle, with Tony, his mistress, that's what was great. The whole race side, like the race riots, the Italians making slurs against them, the guy sleeping with the guy's woman. I'm like, what is the point of this? Again, it just seems idiotic and stupid. And it just seems idiotic that the guy who goes through the drive, like, they do a drive-by, they try to kill the Italians and all that stuff. You don't think killing the head families of this entire family ain't gonna bring down all heat upon your neighborhood, upon everything else? No, I'm sorry. I just did not buy this storyline. And the fact is, this storyline took so much time of the movie. It takes away from it. It takes away from Tony Soprano's character. It takes away from the storylines that we were wanted to go see, where we wanted and to go to theaters. We want to watch on HBO Max. We wanted to see the story of Tony Soprano. We want to see more of Sopranos, not this side character, not this side story. I wouldn't mind it if this was a mini-series. I wouldn't mind it if it was a mini-series, because then you could add more. You could add more flavor to the character. You could add more layers to all of these different storylines. You could add so much stuff to the Sopranos story, and you could add so much stuff to the Sopranos story and Many Saints of Newark. You could add so much stuff, and yet they decide to do a 2-hour movie to build all the, like, they put, oh, let's add this, 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 without really thinking, hey, we don't even wrap it up. The whole point of Dickie against his old friend is pointless because Dickie is killed by Uncle Junior's henchman. What was the point of this character if he's not going to have the final confrontation with Dickie? Did I miss something? Did I miss a scene? Maybe I skipped a scene where I didn't think it was, where I thought it was pointless. But we all know Dickie wasn't going to lose to his old friend. We all knew the old friend wasn't going to kill Dickie. So the writers just ignored the storyline. Is there going to be a sequel? There's ideas for a sequel, but to me, this movie felt lost. And a lot of people say, oh, there's going to be a sequel to this. There's going to be a sequel to this. For what? The black community in The Sopranos ain't focused on mostly on Tony and all that stuff. If there was a race war with the Italians, there would have been in the storyline of that. But I think they're just trying to rewrite The Sopranos in a sense of the past. And if it's such a big moment where this guy's trying to take over Dickie's territory, it takes away, like, why wouldn't the original characters not mention it? Because they are rewriting everything. So to me, The Many Saints of Newark, The Sopranos story, it's a mixed bag to me. It's kind of disappointing, and it kind of makes me mad that this was just a movie. Create a miniseries. Have all these new characters. Have the racial tensions. Have the riots. Have Uncle Junior being miserable. Have show the side of John Berthold just going down and slipping and being weaker. Have his wife just going more belittling the children. How you see more of Janice and Tony's relationship when they were younger. Create a miniseries, a 10-episode, 12-episode miniseries. Would it hurt? Would it have hurt this franchise? No, it would have made it better. This kind of demeans Sopranos. So to me, The Many Saints of Newark Sopranos movie is a disappointing movie. But that's my personal opinion, everybody. Please let me know what y'all think. My name's Elise. Comfort everybody. Bye-bye.